and welcome to Not That Deep, where we're not that deep, but we also realize it's not that deep. Today I'm continuing my Don't Toss It, Let's Mend It series. Like I said last time, have a few things in my wardrobe that are looking a little bit tired, so to speak. So we're going to be fixing another piece. Today we're going to be working on this jumper, my classic that I really love, but unfortunately it appears the moths love it even more than I do. So it's 100% merino wool, and now it has quite a few holes in, so I'll show that in the cutaway. But it's got quite a few holes that need repairing. I have seen some people have really good success with something called invisible mending, so I'm hoping to try that today. The colors obviously of the threads I need to use are going to be quite important, and I'm not entirely sure I've got exact matches, but I'm hoping to get them as close as possible. So let's give it a go and see how it goes. I'm going to be using my trusty sewing kit, so nothing too fancy.
So this is the inside of my sewing kit. Like I say, nothing too special. I've got my needles inside a Ziploc pouch, and I've also got a couple of threads, my scissors, a bit of elastic, and a couple others. So what's that? My tape measure and my thimble. At this point I wanted to try and identify how many holes I needed to get through. I think I ended up finding like 4, which was amazing because, like I say, those moths they're something else. There's actually another one on the left of this one that I just identified, the third one. So I'm going to start off with this hole at the bottom here. Unfortunately my thread is actually a stark white, whereas my jumper is actually a bit more cream, but this is all I have on hand at the moment, and I'm more interested in actually just closing up the holes rather than getting an exact match, just because I don't want the holes expanding. So we're going to start off here and actually start trying to piece these together. I used a mixture of sort of long vertical stitches throughout the hole and sort of smaller horizontal stitches across those longer vertical ones, just to try and hold everything in place. I think the knit was actually double faced as well, because I could find some of the loops sort of sticking out towards the front, and the stitches that I had sort of made across the front weren't necessarily catching the ones at the back, so I had to do that one separately. I had this annoying loop that I couldn't quite pull into the back, so I pulled out my trusty crochet needle. This one's in a 0.6mm, I think it is. So at this point I'm trying to sort of tease it back by hooking the loose thread onto the hook of the crochet needle and push it out, or pull rather it out the other end. It took quite a bit of teasing, but I finally got it through, and it looked a little bit cleaner, I think. Obviously the back is still a bit of a mess, so I'll have to tidy that up. And the colour isn't an exact match, as I said before, but it's closed. So if I'm wearing a shirt underneath or something, you know, that colour's not going to be peeping through. Once it was finally done and closed up both front and back, I was happier with it. And on to the next one. Now, see, they did me dirty because this hole is literally right top center, like could it be in a worse place? But anyway, so I threaded up my needle to get ready for the next batch and started to basically do the same, a very similar method to what I did before, except I'm starting with the sort of shorter horizontal stitches. So I'm finding any loops that are sort of exposed and then putting the needle through them just to catch them, and then going horizontally from left to right just to try and hold those loops in the right place. So, and if you can see that, hopefully you can, just to hold them together. So I've got the horizontal stitches, and then I try to go through those stitches vertically just to try and mimic what it would look like if I'd actually re-knitted the piece together. The rest of it then becomes pretty repetitive, just trying to secure all of the stitches and the loops that have come apart, so that hopefully this isn't an exercise I'm going to have to do anytime soon, at least not on the same spots anyway. So I'm going to continue this process across the different holes that I've got. Like I say, it is quite repetitive, but yeah, enjoy. thanks for sewing with me. I'm nearing the end of my fix for my jumper. Let me know what you think. Is there a better way I could have done this? How would you have done it? I know there's something called invisible mending. Clearly mine isn't quite invisible, but I think it was going to give me enough to try and get some more wear out of my jumper for now. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. What would you have done differently? Hopefully this has inspired you to go into your closet and have a look at what needs repairing and start enjoying them again. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let me know what you would like to see next. Thank you.